Ewuaso Ang. We're coming here, let's take a picture of that fast, to see this project, which is a Mariada Lady Center in Ekango, Selenken. This area is called Ewuaso Ang. As I had earlier explained, this is a rescue center for girls in the Maasai community, which is in an area of a valley known as Ewuaso Ang. The valley translates in Maasai is called the Valley of the Elders. This is where all the decisions done by the Maasais are done. And this is a center in the middle of it that rescues girls and gives them hope out of FGM. And we're going to meet the project coordinator, who's actually started this whole story. And the lady's name is Millicent. So,
yes.
Hi, Millicent.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
I want you to tell guys what you're doing here. What is Ewuaso Ang all about?
Okay. Ewuaso Ang literally means, let's start from what it means. It means Ewuaso Ang means the Valley of the Elders.
Okay.
Yeah? The decisions that are made in Maasai land, both Kenya and Tanzania, are made in this town. All the really strategic leaders are in this, and hence it was called Ewuaso Ang. Yeah? Okay. And I'm born and bred in this area. As you can see, it's a very remote place, and nothing much has happened. So I've been working in South Africa for over 15 years with an NGO, and I got a shock in 2008 when I came back and I saw that there's nothing happening in Ewuaso Ang. And hence I decided to resign from my work in South Africa and come and start this organization called Ewuaso Ang. Ewuaso Ang means our valley, literally in Kimasai.
Okay, didn't know
valley.
that.
We want ownership. We want people to know that it's ours. We can only make the change within ourselves, not other people from outside. And this organization was started in 2009. It's a community-based organization, and we have 3 pillars that we are dealing with. One is HIV and AIDS. The prevalence of HIV and AIDS is very high in this community. And the second one is empowerment, both women, youth, disabled, and the men, because we cannot leave them behind. They are part of the community. And the third one is civic education. Now we have a new constitution. We need people to know what their right is and what that constitution is all about. That's the things to do with human rights, devolved government, and how to vote. And this office now we are trying to help to facilitate people to get birth certificate, so that the children can be admitted to school, and at the same time that the elderly people, the adults, can get their IDs. So you cannot get your ID without a birth certificate in order for them to vote.
Okay. Let me ask this. As a woman in this community, is it a problem making decisions or starting a project like this, especially in an area where all the elders are actually men, and it favors male decision makers?
You're absolutely right. It's very difficult. But you know what? I believe in challenges, and we need to start from somewhere. And if we are talking about empowering women, then it's time we really took that step and take the mantle and say we are going to do something. And that's the decision I've made. It's very difficult, and especially for a child from this community, because people know that I should know what the rules are. I should know the tradition, the way they are done. But at the same time, that is the weak point. But the positive side is I know the community, I know the tradition, and there is a way. Our approach here is to dialogue, not confrontation. We need to sit down with the elders. We need to sit down with the community and say, it's not about competition. It's about bringing development. We need to handle health issues together, and we all need to be one to be able to overcome this. So it's a challenge, but we are prepared for it. And we need to take leadership. Women need to be in leadership.
Okay. I can see we are standing outside an office.
Yes.
Here, guys, that's the office block we are standing in. Would you mind showing us how you work?
Yes, we can. We can walk in. Today is a little bit busy because it's on a Monday. It's the day of the market, and that's when many people can come in and walk into the office in order to fill in their birth certificate registration. As you can see, actually, I always joke that when there are so many people, we compete for oxygen. And this is the reception. The reception where our assistant office administrator sits. Nancy Malloy, would you please come? That is Simaloi, and Simaloi is our office assistant. She runs the office in my absence, makes all the right decisions in my absence, and the wrong decisions too, accepted. And she's the one who really works here with the people with the birth certificate and so on.
Okay.
And that's her station of work.
So what kind of challenges do you come through when you're here, being here on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, in the side of the certificates, the biggest challenge is literacy, because most of the parents here are illiterate, so I use most of my time writing for them. Yeah.
Trying to explain what is going on.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what is needed, the documents, even just to explain them to documents. And since they are Maasais, even to tell them we need your IDs, like why do you need my ID? And here we are trying to get IDs even for the children, and the parents do not even have an ID. And in order to get for a child to get an ID, you need an ID for the parents. Now, that's a big challenge. Yeah.
So what do you think can be done or should be done to be able to change all this?
Okay, one, and the main one, I think it could be advisable if we have the adult education and
to encourage them to get their own IDs.
Yeah.
So civic education is paramount to your whole process.
Exactly.
So what are you doing as Ewuaso Kidong, the Ewuaso Ang? Yes.
Our valley.
to do that, to be able to give them that education?
I think Edward, our community mobilizer, will be able to tell you more about it.
So who else is here?
Yeah. And then we go to the inner office. As I said, you've got only two.
Okay. Someone being served here.
2 rooms. Somebody's getting fed here. Shiko is sitting here. She's our volunteer on women issues and income generating projects for women.
Hi, Shiko.
She's loving.
hello.
And then, as I say, that we have our key player in this community. That's Edward, who is our community mobilizer. And I think the question you are asking Simaloi, he'll be in a better position to tell you how we go about doing education on the ground.
Okay. So Edward, what is your mandate here? What do you do?
Okay, I do community mobilization.
Okay.
So I do also the training in the community, mostly civic programs, income, cultural changes issues. Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of challenges do you come through? What do you face out there?
When we have different types of challenges that makes sense.
Okay.
Like the culture itself is a challenge. Get challenges because of the culture, changing somebody from what we used to live, what is supposed to be, and what is the right thing. We got the challenges of resources to attain what we want. Maybe you need resources to get to the community, mostly on issues about even transport, even the facilities you need. It's so many resources that becomes a challenge that you cannot achieve.
The cost of the office.
It's very expensive. Like if you want to move anything, if you want to do anything, you need resources, you need anything, you face everything you need. It's a challenge. Without it, you can't make it. We have also challenges like systems of government. It's become challenges because maybe you need the bureaucracies, how to achieve it becomes a challenge. So we have several challenges that we see. That's just but some of the challenges that we see.
Okay.
The infrastructure, the transportation, the road system.
Mostly,
telephone.
if we could consider about our area of operation, you can't find any town road. You can actually find even that roads are not well done, and we have a varsity of settlements. People live in places far from roads, far from processes, so it's also a very, very big challenge. Mostly if you want to mobilize, you call for a group to come, it becomes very, very hard for any education to reach these people. It becomes very, very challenging. Yeah.
I'm assuming you're Maasai?
Not assuming I am.
You are a Maasai. You are a Maasai. So
Yeah,
how is it being a man from the Maasai community working in a rescue center for women?
Well, it's first of all, it's traditionally to the communities, a woman has not been considered that much. And getting one of a man who accepted that a woman should have equality to man, first of all, the community feels like, oh, how can you do that? It becomes a question. And there are other issues like challenges of FGM. Going to facilitate on FGM and you are a man, it becomes a very, very challenging issue. Rescuing girls who are married by men, who they always believe that a girl should be married. And at a time, his parents think it's the right time for it. And the man who say to be married, I'm a man. So it becomes very, very hard for them. They always ask me, how can a man be the one who does? It's a challenge to myself. Like, if I do beadwork and I train beadwork, everybody comes to ask me, and why do you do beadwork? This is used to be for women. It's not for men. So I think you should stop it and allow women to be. They don't take like an income generating project. That change of idea, that change of perception of money, yeah, it becomes a very, very, very big challenge. Which all of it we can put it as the traditional aspect of issues, but not the real aspect of issues.
And can I just jump in there? I think the other important thing is also, we are also dealing with child protection, the law. And here we are, the community is still, and the girls are still undergoing their circumcision rites and early marriages. And most of these girls are underage. So as an organization, Edward also has a challenge that he has responsibility to protect that child. Because that's a child, that's not a grown-up, it's not an adult to be married. Yeah. So that becomes a big problem. And I think women in general in Maasai land has been a big problem. Let's take it for example, since independence of Kenya, there have never been a Maasai woman either in parliament, as a permanent secretary, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. I think there's been one assistant ambassador. So we have never really had those leadership positions because the tradition dictates women cannot be in leadership. So you cannot even vie to be a member of parliament because the elders in the community will literally say, we'll curse anybody who is going to choose that woman. And women, knowing their place, they don't even go ahead and try to vie for those spots. Okay. So, and I think it is time now that our new constitution is vibrant, it's very nice, and it's giving people that opportunity. And as Ewuaso Ang, we have realized that we don't need to start working with women, but we need to start working with the gatekeepers, and those are the traditional elders. We need to sit down with them.